For most people today, sleeping alone feels completely normal because modern homes provide privacy, comfort, and protection throughout the night. You can close the door, turn off the lights, and fall asleep without worrying that something dangerous might emerge from the darkness outside. Many people even prefer sleeping alone because silence, personal space, and privacy feel relaxing after a busy day. But for almost all of human history, choosing to sleep alone would have been considered an extraordinarily dangerous decision. Imagine walking away from your community after sunset and settling down in the darkness with nobody nearby to help if something went wrong. The experience would not have felt peaceful because the ancient world became far more dangerous after the sun disappeared. Predators became active, temperatures dropped, visibility vanished, and unfamiliar sounds echoed through the darkness beyond the firelight. Unlike large carnivores, humans possessed no claws, no fangs, and no natural armor capable of protecting them while asleep. Human intelligence provided many advantages, but intelligence becomes less useful when a person is unconscious for several hours. This created a survival problem faced by every prehistoric community throughout human history. How do you remain safe during the hours when everyone is at their most vulnerable? The solution was simple, effective, and repeated across countless generations. People slept together. Families remained close to one another. Children stayed near parents, and entire communities gathered within the protection of a shared camp. A sleeping camp was not merely a collection of people resting at the same time. It functioned as a cooperative security system built entirely from human relationships. The more people sleeping nearby, the greater the chance that someone would hear danger before it became a serious threat. A larger group also meant greater warmth, greater security, and more assistance if something unexpected happened during the night. Sleeping together reduced individual risk by distributing responsibility across the entire community. For hundreds of thousands of years, this pattern appeared in forests, grasslands, deserts, mountains, and nearly every environment humans entered. Sleeping near others was not simply a cultural tradition passed down from generation to generation. It was a survival strategy reinforced by natural selection. Communities that cooperated effectively often survived dangers that isolated individuals could not overcome. This reality shaped human behavior for far longer than modern civilization has existed. Private bedrooms, locked doors, and secure houses are extremely recent developments compared with the length of human history. For most of our existence, safety came from proximity to other people rather than from physical structures. Many researchers believe humans evolved expecting to spend the night surrounded by family members and trusted companions. Sleeping alone may feel ordinary in the modern world, but it would have appeared strange to many of our ancestors. From their perspective, voluntarily separating yourself from the group before sleeping increased risk for no obvious benefit. That raises an important question. If sleeping together was so important, what actually happened inside a prehistoric camp once darkness arrived? Once the sun disappeared below the horizon, daily life inside a hunter-gatherer camp began to change in ways that would feel unfamiliar to most modern people. The search for food usually slowed down, long-distance travel became less practical, and community members gradually gathered around the warmth of a central fire. For ancient humans, evening was often one of the most important social periods of the entire day. Families reunited after spending hours hunting, gathering, exploring, or performing other tasks necessary for survival. Food was shared among community members because cooperation increased the chances that everyone would remain healthy and strong. Stories became an important part of camp life because they entertained, educated, and preserved valuable survival knowledge. Experienced hunters described encounters with animals and shared information about promising hunting grounds. Gatherers discussed seasonal food sources and changes they had observed across the landscape. Elders passed down stories containing practical lessons about weather, migration routes, dangerous locations, and reliable water sources. Children learned by listening carefully to conversations that blended entertainment with survival education. As darkness deepened, people gradually prepared their sleeping areas near family members and trusted companions. Children typically remained close to parents or relatives capable of protecting and comforting them throughout the night. Older individuals often occupied central positions where they benefited from the protection of the entire community. The arrangement may appear simple, but it created multiple layers of security for everyone involved. A child sleeping near parents faced fewer risks than a child sleeping alone. An elderly person sleeping near the center benefited from the awareness and support of surrounding community members. Every individual gained protection from the presence of other people nearby. The campfire itself played a critical role in maintaining this sense of security. Its warmth reduced the dangers associated with cold nighttime temperatures. Its light created a visible boundary between the camp and the darkness beyond. Its presence may have discouraged some predators from approaching too closely. Despite these advantages, the wilderness surrounding the camp remained active throughout the night. Predators continued hunting beyond the edge of the firelight, while insects, birds, and nocturnal animals filled the darkness with unfamiliar sounds. Ancient humans were never completely separated from these dangers. Instead, They reduced risk through cooperation and shared awareness. Every additional person sleeping nearby increased the likelihood that unusual activity would be noticed quickly. A sleeping camp functioned almost like a living shield, built from human relationships rather than physical walls. The group provided protection that no individual could easily create alone. For prehistoric humans, sleeping together was not simply about comfort or companionship. It was one of the most effective defensive strategies available in a world where danger often arrived after sunset. And over thousands of generations, this nightly routine may have influenced the way the human mind itself evolved. Sleeping together offered more than physical protection because it also addressed one of the most powerful forces influencing human behavior: fear. Imagine hearing an unfamiliar sound outside your shelter in the middle of the night while completely alone. Now imagine hearing the same sound while surrounded by dozens of trusted people. The sound has not changed, but your perception of danger changes dramatically. Humans evolved as highly social animals, whose survival often depended on cooperation rather than individual strength. For ancient humans, separation from the group frequently increased danger, while remaining close to the group increased safety. Over hundreds of thousands of years, those repeated experiences may have shaped the emotional systems that still influence people today. A person surrounded by family members and trusted companions could relax more easily than someone isolated in the wilderness. This psychological advantage was every bit as important as the physical protection provided by the group. Sleeping together also helped humans survive cold environments long before insulated houses, electric heaters, and modern clothing existed. Body heat became a valuable resource that could be shared among community members during harsh conditions. People sleeping near one another conserved warmth more effectively than individuals sleeping separately. This benefit was especially important during winter nights, storms, and periods of unusually cold weather. Many mammals use similar strategies to reduce heat loss and increase survival during challenging environmental conditions. Humans appear to have benefited from the same principle throughout much of their evolutionary history. The social structure of a sleeping group created additional advantages beyond warmth and security. If a child woke up frightened, parents were already nearby. If someone became ill during the night, assistance was immediately available. If unusual sounds were heard outside the camp, multiple people could investigate together, rather than forcing one individual to face the risk alone. The group acted as a support network that remained available even while most people were asleep. Researchers studying human evolution often emphasize that cooperation was one of our species' greatest advantages. Ancient humans did not survive because they were the strongest animals in their environments. They survived because they worked together more effectively than many competing species. The sleeping camp provides a powerful example of that cooperation in action. Every member contributed to the security and stability of the group simply by remaining part of it. The camp protected the individual, and the individual strengthened the camp. Together they created a system that helped humans thrive in environments that would have been far more dangerous alone. Surprisingly, evidence from modern hunter-gatherer societies suggests that this ancient system may have provided protection even when most people appeared to be asleep. And that discovery has changed the way researchers think about human sleep itself. One of the most fascinating discoveries about human sleep emerged from research conducted among modern hunter-gatherer communities. For many years, scientists assumed that entire groups fell asleep at roughly the same time and remained asleep until morning. The evidence suggests something far more interesting. Studies involving the Hadza people of Tanzania found that someone in the camp was usually awake during most hours of the night. Different individuals fell asleep at different times, woke briefly during the night, or rose before sunrise. The result was a natural pattern of overlapping sleep schedules that created continuous awareness within the community. Researchers often describe this idea using the term sentinel hypothesis. The concept is surprisingly simple. Even when most people are asleep, a few individuals are often awake at any given moment simply because human sleep patterns naturally vary. Those awake individuals can notice unusual sounds, maintain the fire, respond to disturbances, or alert others if danger appears nearby. No formal guard system is required because protection emerges naturally from ordinary variations in human behavior. This arrangement may have provided enormous advantages throughout human evolutionary history. A predator approaching the camp would be more likely to encounter at least one alert person. A fading fire could be restored before temperatures drop too low. An injured or frightened individual would never be completely alone. The community remained partially aware of its surroundings even during the hours typically associated with sleep. This system becomes even more effective as group size increases, because larger communities are more likely to have someone awake at any particular moment. In effect, Ancient humans may have benefited from a form of collective vigilance without consciously organizing night watches. Some researchers believe this pattern played an important role in helping human communities survive for thousands of generations. Humans did not evolve as solitary sleepers. They evolved as members of social groups where awareness, responsibility, and protection were shared across the community. This idea may help explain why many modern people still feel uncomfortable sleeping completely alone in unfamiliar places. Children often fear darkness despite growing up in relatively safe environments. Many adults sleep better when trusted partners or family members are nearby. Researchers have even identified what is known as the first night effect, a phenomenon in which part of the brain remains more alert when sleeping in an unfamiliar location. From an evolutionary perspective, this response makes perfect sense. For most of human history, unfamiliar sleeping locations often carried genuine risks that demanded caution. Modern civilization has reduced many of those dangers through secure buildings, locks, heating systems, artificial lighting, and countless other innovations. Technology changed the sleeping environment remarkably quickly. Human evolution moves much more slowly. As a result, some ancient instincts may still operate beneath the surface of everyday life. The comfort people feel around trusted companions, the uneasiness of isolation, and the tendency to remain alert in unfamiliar places may all reflect adaptations shaped by countless prehistoric nights. The next time you close your bedroom door and prepare to sleep alone, remember that the experience feels normal only because the modern world made it possible. For almost all of human history, humans drifted to sleep surrounded by family members, friends, and other trusted members of their community. They shared warmth, protection, knowledge, and responsibility for surviving until morning. Sleeping alone may feel ordinary today, but for the vast majority of humans who ever lived, safety came from sleeping together. And somewhere deep inside the modern human mind, a small part of that ancient campfire may still be burning.